Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so this video is going to be first official video in my little mini series called the Watchwell Life. This series is going to be based on the journal that I wrote back in September to help moms, stay-at-home wives, women in general watch well over their families and over their homes. And to give you a little bit of backstory, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I told this story in a like 3-minute long reel over there. Pretty much my whole married life, so I've been married for 7 years, I really wanted to be able to contribute financially. And you know, with the culture that we're raised to go to college and get a job, and if you have kids, put them in daycare, and then in grade school, you know, public school, whatever. I tried that for the majority of my adult life and especially my married life, and it didn't feel right to me. I quickly realized that I didn't want to put our kids, our child right now, but we're hoping to have more, our children into school. I am very much interested in homeschooling. Things are so much different these days with homeschooling. There are huge homeschool groups, co-ops, tons of activities to put them in so that they're not in any way missing out on social interaction. And I think this path is actually going to be so much better mentally, emotionally, all the things for our children and our family. I digress. For a while, you know, before we got pregnant with Eli, I worked at a brick and mortar marketing agency because I thought, yes, I got my degree in communications and this is what I'm gonna do with my life. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the actual building that I worked in because I thought it was so cool. It was in an old textile mill. And I loved the fact that I worked at a marketing agency and I was a social media manager, brand manager. That was my official title. But then I got pregnant and quickly realized the things that were frustrating me about working were amplifying right about that same time, which was an indicator that I needed to make a change. And so I actually quit my job, probably like when I was about 2 months pregnant. And I thought, okay, well, first of all, we had been trying for a baby for about 4 years up until that point. And so this was like something that I had wanted so bad, and I really wanted to focus on my pregnancy. And I thought, well, maybe I can become an entrepreneur. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Up until that point, I had tried multiple different businesses, including 2 different MLMs. I'm not gonna talk bad about MLMs because I think it works for some people. The monetary side didn't work for me, but what I got out of the MLMs that I was part of was incredible community and friends that I still have to this day, who I consider really good friends. So anyways, that didn't work for me. I then got inspired by some friends who were having success with freelancing. So, you know, creating their own business and managing people's social media, admin type of thing. I started trying to go that route. I created my own business. I niched down into Pinterest marketing, which if the opportunity presented itself to me today and I had people lining up wanting a Pinterest manager, I would totally not say no. That type of work comes so easy to me. I live on Pinterest as it is, and I have since about 2011. I love creating and designing and Canva. I do that for so many different aspects of my life. I ended up creating a Pinterest management business. I got a few clients. It was fun. It earned decent money, you know, as somebody just starting out as an entrepreneur, but it still wasn't working the way that I wanted it to work. There's another aspect to that that I probably need a separate video for, because it is a serious lesson that God taught me throughout that. But I will say this, immediately when I laid that striving down at the Lord's feet, He blessed me with something that I had been working so hard for and striving for in my own strength. He immediately blessed me with it as soon as I gave it to Him. Back to the Watchwell journal and how that came about. My Pinterest management business was not going the way that I wanted it to go. My motivation for it just wasn't there. At that point, I was just like, I don't really want to be doing this. And I also know that I need to be taking better care of my son. Not that I wasn't, but I just felt like I have this business looming over me, but I really want to be a much more present mom. One day, early September, I was crying out to God and I was just telling him everything. Just like, I don't know what to do. I want to be a good wife and a good mom. I want to be in your will, basically be doing exactly what you put me on here on this earth to do and be the most effective human I can be. All of a sudden, I feel like I got an instant download from the Holy Spirit of, it was just like a flood of ideas. And it started with me thinking, okay, what are the things that I need to be doing every single day that would minister to my family, serve my family, and also fulfill me? And I'm telling you, all of those things just like came into my mind very quickly. And I thought, well, yeah, this is exactly what I need to be doing every day. And it was something that was so instant and orderly that I describe it when I talk about it as like an instant download from the Holy Spirit. So I wrote all of those things down and I planned to just make like a to-do list for myself and start following it. But then I thought, you know, these are such universal rhythms that are so beneficial for women. It includes women who work from home too, but stay-at-home moms, that's what season that I'm in, but it's not just for stay-at-home moms. I knew that this was not just for me, that other women could really benefit from it as well. And so I had the idea to write a journal. And I have showed this on my Instagram plenty of times. I have a whole highlight dedicated to the Watchwell journal, but it looks like this. And you guys, I am so new to actually using my camera, so I don't know if that's backwards or not, but it's the Watchwell journal. I had the idea to do it seasonally, so it's the fall, so this is the autumn edition. And I even did a poll on my Instagram just asking like what color. This was either this color, which is sort of like a brown burgundy color, or orange, and this won by landslide. And a couple people have gotten this and are enjoying it, which makes me so happy. But I wrote this for me first and foremost. So just to have like a physical, I feel like blueprint from the Lord is so special to me. So it's just a bonus that I have published it and made it available to everybody else. Back to what this video is about. I have decided to start this YouTube channel and share just more what it looks like to live out the Watchwell life, give you a little peek into what my days look like now. And I am going to dedicate one video to each rhythm in the journal. I wanted to hop on here and make this video and tell you a little bit about it, give you a little bit of backstory. Talking to the camera for an extended period of time is still very new to me, even though I've been on social media for forever. Something like this, it's a little bit more difficult, but I'm just talking to my friends. So I'm trying to treat it like that. Bear with me if I ramble a little bit. I probably will have to like cut the video a lot because this is how I talk, and that's something that I've always wanted to improve, is my communication skills. So I think this is going to be a great learning exercise for me. My biggest hope is that you guys gain some wisdom from this and that it helps improve your life and your family's lives. The first video in the series is going to be the very first thing that I do every single morning, Monday through Sunday, and it's called a morning anchor rhythm. I'm going to be sharing about that in the next video. Mornings are my absolute favorite. I hope this series blesses you, and see you in the next one.